Traffic secrets exposed, creating your own internet highway traffic jam. Traffic plus what equals sales? We're going to find out in just a second that that little blank is going to be filled in with the word conversions, because it's more than just getting traffic to your site. Once you get that traffic there, you need to convert them. Whatever the action is that you're desiring that person to take when they show up to your website, you need to convert them. That's going to equal sales. Even if it's just getting them there and converting them into a free sign up on your squeeze page, that is eventually going to be equaling sales if you do your job of building good relationships with them and setting up your back end marketing strategy, which we've covered. But tonight we're going to be talking pretty much just traffic. We're going to start out with just a little bit talking about conversions, how to, a little bit of split testing, but not a lot on that. We're just going to cover it a little bit, because what you really need to understand is that it's just not traffic. You have to be able to convert that traffic. Otherwise, it's just like somebody walking into an offline store and walking right back out without taking any kind of desired action. And that desired action usually is to buy something. And, and that's what we are after. We're not just after window shoppers. We are after a traffic jam of people that are ready to come in and ready to buy. They're interested in what we have got. So what is traffic? Traffic is basically getting people to your website. It's as simple as that. And the little picture that I got down there at the bottom, as you can see, it's kind of represents what we want coming in. We've got that little exit ramp coming, or entrance ramp in this case, coming onto this major highway and stuff here. But that's what traffic is like. It's not coming from just one stream. We need it to be coming from several different streams. Some of them are going to be coming in with just a little bit of traffic. Other ones are going to be coming in with major traffic. And it's going to also be just like if you were downtown Atlanta, Georgia, if you've ever driven down there before and during rush hour, or any major city that's got a major rush hour, all day long it's just kind of a steady traffic, but then there's certain times where you can get a massive amount of traffic all at once, where it just like brings everything to a standstill practically, because there's so much. And we're going to be talking about methods that can actually bring that kind of traffic in as well, where it's not going to be traffic that's continuous like that, but there's going to be times when you use methods that are going to be a high fluctuation of traffic all at once. So what traffic is not sales. A lot of people think if you got a lot of traffic come to your website, you're making a lot of sales, and that is not the case. You have got to be able to convert that traffic. Without conversions, all you do is got a bunch of people showing up to your website, and that's not what we want. I mean, we do want people showing up to our website. We want a bunch, but we want to convert them. You need traffic that converts into sales. Without having the conversions to go along with the traffic that is coming to our site, we end up with what is called traffic death. And I don't know if you've ever heard that term before, but if you've got people coming to your websites and you're not making sales, you're not converting them, you're going to end up with what we call traffic death. Traffic death leads to some serious, serious issues. Most sites that do not convert well are not properly search engine optimized, and that's a big reason of why they don't convert well. And part of the reason is when you get a site that's not properly search engine optimized, what happens is you get a lot of traffic sometimes, but it's not really targeted. They're not really interested. Maybe they didn't, you could have used some better keywords to actually get them there, or some better long-tailed keywords to get them there. And somebody that was more interested, somebody more that was really targeted for what you had to offer. You're not going to get your site picked up by search engines and stuff very well if you're not properly optimized. One of the other things that traffic death leads to is you won't be able to use paid traffic methods, because you're not going to be able to justify using them, because you're going to be spending a lot of money and you're not going to be getting a very good return on your investment. A lot of times people will set these their pay-per-clicks up, and pretty soon they're getting billed a big amount of money, and they have nothing left in there to actually pay that, because they never made anything. They weren't able to convert. Another thing, and this is a big deal right here, you will stop getting JV partners, and the one that you have will quit promoting for you. If you continually put out sites, put out products that are out there that do not convert. You're going to have JV partners that you've got on board basically say, we're not promoting for you anymore because we never have any kind of benefit when we do promote to you. So you're going to stop getting JV partners. And not only getting them to promote for you, they'll pretty much stop, working with you and wanting to do business with you in other ways and stuff, just because they don't see you as somebody that's able to really do what you're setting out to do. So conversions are very, very important when it comes to traffic. It's not just getting somebody there, it's getting that traffic to convert for you. So what is your conversion rate for each traffic source that you have? Do you know which sources of traffic are giving you the best conversions? Most of the time, if you were to ask somebody, when you start talking about conversions, unless they really know what they're doing, most people will say, I haven't a clue. I don't even know if there's anybody showing up to my site. Or, well, I think I'm getting a few people because every once in a while somebody will opt into my list. Well, that's great, but what's it converting like? How many people are actually opting in compared to what is actually showing up to your site? And most times people say, well, probably just a little bit because I only get a few leads on my list every once in a while. And that might not be the case. You could have a high amount of traffic coming that you don't even know about. And the reason that you think there's just a little bit is only because they're not converting. You're only getting 1 or 2 people showing up. What's going to happen there is you got to figure out a way to get that to convert better. Maybe it's changing headlines. Maybe it's changing your offer, whatever it is that you need to change on that website to get them to convert. What is your conversion rate for each keywords that you have? Do you even know these? Do you even know what a keyword is? Do you know how to go out and look for keywords? But if you do you know which keywords are getting you better conversions and better traffic? Do you know what pages of your website that you are losing your visitors on? Sometimes we have a page that might be set up, have 2 or 3 pages in, and a lot of times we'll get them there to the main page, but we never get them to the place where we need them to take the action. Do you know where you're losing your visitors at? Do you know at what point you are losing your visitors when they leave your sales page? Let's say you've got a sales page or even a squeeze page set up. Do you know where, if they're leaving, do you know where that point is? Is it right away? So maybe you could change the headline. Is it just a few seconds into it? So maybe they've read the headline and maybe your story or what you're trying to capture their attention with right after the headline, maybe that's not converting. Is it down by maybe your call to action? Where is it on your page that you're losing your visitors? Do you know when that is? Do you know how long the visitors, on average stays on your page? What page of your website results in the best conversions and are making the sales? Do you know these things? Do you know where at in your process that it's actually converting if you are getting conversions? Do you make the sale and have early unsubscribes? This is a whole part of the process. Maybe your follow-up messages. Maybe you've actually made a sale. You've got somebody on your list, and then you've got somebody they're unsubscribing. Maybe they're there for just 1 or 2 emails and they're off. Maybe they're there for 6 months. Where is it in the process that you're losing people? What follow-up messages in your follow-up email series is causing them to leave, and which follow-up messages causes them to buy? These kind of things are very important to be following. You need to know when you've got your follow-up email set up, if you watch it carefully, you'll begin to notice trends, and you'll notice when people are actually starting to leave your websites. So let's say you've got a 7-series follow-up. A lot of times if you really pay attention, you can see if they're leaving right away, or if maybe they're leaving on a certain message, you get a higher unsubscribe rate during them. So maybe in that case, you would want to take that certain message and you might want to change it, add it with a different one, maybe a different offer, or maybe you've got a pitch during that message and that you might want to take out and just give them some more content. These things are things that you really need to follow and take a really close look at, because otherwise, when you're working hard to get the traffic to your sites and then you don't worry about the conversions and worried about people leaving, you're just wasting all that valuable time. All right, Google Analytics is is probably one of the best ways that you can really go about tracking all this traffic. It's a simple code that you're going to set up on each page of your website. Go to google.com/analytics, and you can check this out. You can read all about this. You're going to be able to find tutorials on how to set this up. But Google Analytics is a free software tool that will help you really take a good look at the action of your visitors on your website. It really will give you a lot of details. It'll tell you what kind of keywords are coming in from. It'll tell you what kind of search methods are using, what browsers are using, where they're at in, as far as what country they're from. It'll tell you how long they've been on your sites, when they're leaving your sites. There's so many different analytics that you're going to be able to really look at and get a good idea and a better picture of what is going on when that visitor shows up to your site. It's going to help you really get to the root of the problem that is keeping you from getting the conversions you need. And just a simple thing, what I was just talking about a little bit ago. Let's say somebody shows up to your website. They show up to your sales page, and Google Analytics is telling you that the majority of the people are showing up to your site and they're leaving within just a few seconds. Chances are you're probably going to have to change something like your headline to start with at that point, to see if you can get them, because that headline is what needs to capture their attention and make them want to read more and to further on. And if it's not doing what it's supposed to do, you're probably going to have to change that. So that would be a good way to learn, to find out how long people are staying at there. You go through the process to find out, okay, average time they're staying on them is 5 minutes. Okay, you go through your process and find out what is taking place at 5 minutes that might be making that person leave. Maybe it's your call to action. It's not a strong enough call to action, or maybe you don't have a call to action at all. Maybe you just got a buy now button and you're not telling that person click on that. Or if they're on your squeeze page, maybe it's at the point where they're entering their name and email and you don't have a good call to action. So Google Analytics will really help you to figure out exactly what people are doing when they show up to your website. And there are some other tools out there that you can use, and we'll kind of cover a couple of these in a couple different topics here tonight. But Google Analytics is a place where I would start if I were you. Split testing. This is testing that gives you the opportunity to maximize conversion rates and solve problems and challenge assumptions. Split testing is something that you really need to get into. A lot of people do not test. They do not test anything, and they do not have a clue what's going on their websites. They don't have a clue whether or not they could have done better. Maybe they're satisfied with the conversions, but they're saying, well, I'm getting a 5-6% conversion. I'm happy with that. Why would you be happy with that if you could make that squeeze page go to a 30 or 40% conversion? So if you knew what was going on there, that you could split test and maybe do some changes on something and get a better conversion, why wouldn't you want to do that? I mean, you're spending the money, you're taking the time to get traffic there. Why wouldn't you want to find a way to get a better conversion? Even when you're getting great conversions, always test to see if you can do better. The most recognized split testing is called A/B split testing, and this is really nothing more than determining which elements on a page are helping the performance or conversions of your web page, and which of the elements are not and could be changed to help. And one that you can do is google.com. It's got a website optimizer. You can go check it out. They've got an A/B split tester that you're able to use to do some of the testing of the different elements of your page. But you really need to understand and learn what is going on your websites. All right, the A in the equation refers to the original or the control page. So basically, you create your website. So you got a sales page or a squeeze page. You've got everything, your headlines, everything set up. You put it out there. Your B page refers to an alternate element or to the challenger version. So let's say you have another squeeze page set up that's got a new headline, a completely different headline, or it's changed just enough that, added some different words into it. What you're going to do is you're going to compare that B one to the A, and whichever one gets the best results, that one will become your control page, and you will go from there. So what do I test? You can test your headlines. I mean, basically, you want to test everything about your process. You can test your headlines. You can test header graphics. Does it work with header graphics, or do you get better conversions without the graphics? Page graphics. Maybe you've got way too many graphics on your page and just simpler graphics would have worked. Your call to action. Can you do your call to action to get some better conversion? The offer itself might not be good enough to get that conversion. That's something that you need to look at. Maybe colors of your website. I've seen a lot of websites that just got these bright fluorescent colors. I mean, it's just like you go to them and they hurt your eyes. What about just doing a basic white background and, plain text on it? That's probably going to convert better, but test it to find out. The different fonts, a lot of times the different fonts in there are going to test some, if you use fonts that are hard to read and stuff, people aren't going to stay on your page to stick around and sit there and try to fumble through and try to figure out what that font is saying. So, test different fonts. Maybe it's the price points of your sales copy. So test different price points. Maybe it's actual sales copy that you need to have another version of your sales copy out there to split test. One of the things you need to do is just don't quit testing. Make sure that you're always working to get better conversions. Now, there is so much more that we could cover in getting conversions and split testing and, testing the different aspects of your websites and the analytics behind everything. And we're not going to get into a lot of that tonight. I need you to, if you're interested in that, you need to go do some Google research, and it's out there. That information is there for you. We want to really get into the traffic tonight, but this is so important that you make sure that you're converting, that you make sure that you're testing what you have so that when you get the traffic there, that it's not a waste of your time and it's not a waste of their time for showing up. Because if they show up and leave, chances are you're never going to get them back. All right, let's get into some traffic. Number one traffic generator. JV partners to generate traffic. And when you seen the picture at the beginning, it showed a large amount of traffic. And we're talking about that rush hour traffic. And this is what is probably one of the best ways to get that rush hour traffic coming in. And if you can manage to do it properly, this can be a strong long-term strategy for a steady source of traffic. And it's the biggest, fastest, most powerful system that I can think of to generate traffic. Basically what you need, you have to have a product of your own. And I've been teaching that from the beginning. You need to get a product of your own. It's just something that's going to build your credibility. You can get JV partners to start helping you out. And it's one of the best ways to get a large amount of traffic. If you want that traffic jam, it's JV partners. Make sure that you have an excellent product. If you want to get JV product or partners, make sure that your product is of the highest value possible. Make sure that what you're offering as to your JV partners to promote is of the highest value and it's just an excellent product. If it's not, what's going to happen is when they send you leads and customers, and they're going to start getting complaints because it might be your product, but a lot of times they're going to go back to who recommended that product to them and say, what the heck are you doing? You recommended me junk. I've trusted you, and it's going to hurt their credibility. So make sure that you're giving them excellent products to recommend, because if not, it's going to hurt your relationships with not only those that are buying, but with your JV partners as well. Have your site ready to go when you ask your JV partners to promote. This is a biggie. A lot of the times you'll get people that you'll get them all lined up. They're ready to promote for you, and all of a sudden the product owner cancels the launch. Everything wasn't ready to go. They forgot to test some things, and things just weren't ready, so they had to get a hold of their partner and say, we're going to have to postpone this. We're going to have to cancel this. Well, what the problem is here, you wouldn't really think that would be a big problem because you're fixing it and going to make it, better for them to promote. But chances are is their schedule is already filled, and they're going to not be able to fit you in the next time, or especially if you're going to be doing a large launch. If it's an evergreen product, maybe they can get it in down the road sometime. But if you're looking for that big fluctuation during the launch, chances are if you don't go on schedule, they're not going to be able to promote for you because they've already scheduled something else during that time that you're going, because these launches are coming all the time and these marketers are full. I mean, their schedules are always full. You see your inboxes going every day being filled up. That's because these guys are promoting for their other JV partners out there to keep their relationships going with them. If you're not ready to go, you're going to lose JV partners the next time because they're going to remember these things. Start out by asking how you can help him or her. And what I mean by that is instead of just coming up and saying, hey, I need you to promote this, and we're going to get into this when we start talking about joint venture partners. We're going to really get in deep with this. But when you're going after joint venture partners to help you generate traffic to your product launches, start out first by building a relationship with them and asking how you can help them. And maybe to an exchange for them promoting for you, maybe it's a simple exchange, you promoting for them, or helping them with something that they're in need of, that they're having problems getting done. So find out how you can help them in exchange for them promoting for you. Traffic used by affiliates, this is right along with the JV, only this is going to be more of a long-term effect than joint venture partners. Joint venture partners, if it's an evergreen product, can be a long-term effect, but affiliates is going to be your best long-term when it comes to either joint ventures or affiliates. Once you own your products, this is by far the best long-term method to generate a constant flow of traffic to your site. Traffic by use of affiliates has no real risk when it comes to affiliate marketing. You only pay after the results you are delivered. So basically, when they make a sale, you pay for it. I mean, this is some of the best way to get traffic to your sites is to have affiliates coming on. They see you've got products out there that you're selling. They sign up to be an affiliate. They send out for you. This is the best long-term traffic method that you can get. And once it really starts, when your sales start kicking in, your products will become more noticeable by affiliates. They'll start searching them out. You'll start being recommended to other affiliates. And this really starts kicking into overdrive then. But this is the best way because this is no risk traffic because you're only paying out for anything after you get results. All right, another way to get traffic is to join forums and online communities. Forums, basically, if you've never used it before, it's your signature file, which you're going to put in your comments or whatever in your forum marketing, becomes an advertising tool for driving traffic. With backlinks attached to your signature name, readers can instantly be guided to your site and thus increasing your traffic. Now, we're going to go over some best forum practices because a lot of people jump into forum marketing to get traffic because they hear it's a great way to get traffic, and they do it wrong, and they find themselves basically just getting kicked out of the forum, and they don't end up generating traffic. So here's best forum practices. First of all, find a forum in your targeted niche. Basically, you just type in your keyword, your targeted niche, and the word forums, and you will find all sorts of forums. In almost any niche that you can think of, you're going to find forums. But make sure it is well targeted toward your niche so that the people that are in these forums are interested in what you got to say. Register in the forum. Once you get in there, you're going to have to go register. Usually you're going to have a login, password, and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to go register to the forum. Once you're registered, read the rules. You will usually find a place in the forums where it will give the rules of the forums. Before you get started anything, read the rules so that you know what is allowed and what is not allowed in the forums. A lot of the times, people will get kicked out simply because they never read the rules and they start out doing things all wrong. And most people that are moderating forums do not tolerate it. The rules are there for a reason, so make sure that you read the rules. Next thing, that's probably one of the biggest thing, and this is going to go for a lot of social networkings or anything where you've got a profile to fill out. Setting up your forum profile is very, very important. This tells who you are. A lot of times you're going to be able to have links to your sites in here. You're going to have different things, maybe links to your Twitter profiles, your Facebook profiles. Make sure that you set these profiles up and go into as much detail as possible and make them public. If you're trying to get your web presence out there, make sure that people can find you. A lot of people they'll have their forums out there, but then they'll keep them, they'll put these profiles out there, but they keep them private. What good's that doing if it's just you seeing it? Make sure that you make them public so that other people can find you. They can get to know who you are, find out if they're interested in what you got to offer. Next, you're going to kind of do an introduction post. Once you get in there, you're basically going to go in there, just introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm new to the forum, whatever. I'd just like to introduce myself. This is who I am. You're not going to be selling something. You're not trying to get traffic. You're just introducing yourself. This is an introduction period where you're allowing others to get to know you. You know, tell them a little bit about yourself and, you know, what you do, your expertise. You're starting to build up your credibility at this point. Provide value by answering questions. So after you do your intro post, you're going to go through there. You're going to look for unanswered questions. The ones that already got answers to, unless there's several different answers, or you think you got a better one, great. But look for different questions that are unanswered, that are specific toward your niche, specific toward your expertise. Now, a lot of people think you have to be the expert to be able to answer questions. So they don't go in there and start answering questions. Yes, it is better if you are an expert on the subject because you're going to do a much better job and it's not going to take a lot of research. If you need to get started, you do not know the answers, research them. Take the very question, put it into Google and find out the answer and then provide it for them. You know, possibly once you start getting going, and make sure you check the rules first of all, but possibly maybe the answer is on one of your websites, like a blog, for instance. So you can just add a simple link to your blog. But again, check the rules to make sure that you don't have to have a certain amount of posts before you can start putting any kind of links in your posts at all. So, but possibly a way to provide the answer is to sending them to your site for the answer, maybe to a post you did on the blog. A lot of times forum moderators will allow you, they'll go check out that link, and if it's providing great content and you're not just spamming and selling and stuff, you know, usually they'll allow it, but they'll go check it out, and if not, they'll usually delete the post. Post threads with useful information. Next, you want to start threads, and you're going to want to start just giving useful information. As you notice, what we're doing here is we're providing value, and that's what your main goal is when you're going after traffic from forums and even, you know, other social networking sites, is to provide value to the forum itself, to provide value to the site that you're using to get that traffic. If you do not, if you're seen as not providing value, you're going to be out of the forum. So make sure that you start posting threads with useful information, and then you basically replicate the strategy. You just continue. One of the biggest things that I'm going to continue to say throughout this training tonight is that you need to be consistent in whatever you choose to do. Whatever methods that you choose to use as your traffic methods of choice, you need to be consistent. I wouldn't go sitting there trying to do 100 different strategies all at once. Start out with one or two that you feel comfortable with. Start building upon those traffic. Some of them are going to take a while to get going, but that's okay. Consistency is the key to getting good traffic. Article writing, and we're going to get into this a little bit deeper. A lot of people think article writing is dead. It is not. This is probably one of the greatest long-term. It does take a while to get started. You're not going to notice a lot of traffic coming to your sites right away from article writing. You've got to build upon this. And that's, you know, again, it's called consistency. This is a traffic tool that, if used correctly, can drive highly qualified and targeted leads to your business. I receive traffic from articles to my websites every single day, and the quality of the traffic that the article brings to my sites beats most and a lot of the other sources, even the paid ones. I find that a lot of times the paid ones do not do as well for me as anything that I'm going to, you know, my article writing. It's bringing highly targeted traffic, especially if you do it correctly. The cumulative effect of this dynamic linking system results in better search engine page rankings, more exposure because you're going to have wider visibility, expert and authority status in your niche because you're going to be seen as the expert. You're going to build that credibility that you need, and ultimately an increased traffic. Right away, it's not going to. A lot of people will tell you, go out and write 10 articles, submit them, and watch the traffic come in. I guarantee you, you're not going to find a lot of traffic that way. That's the starting point. Usually, if I recommend somebody to start article marketing, I'm going to recommend go out, do your keyword research. You're going to write 10 articles, and you're going to submit them, but I'm not going to tell them to end there. I'm going to tell them to do it again, and then do it again. When you start getting out there right around 100 articles, then you're going to start seeing. A lot of people go, man, that sounds like a lot, but I'm telling you, article writing is not that bad, and it is something that is very, very easily and very affordable to outsource, for people to write your articles for you. I got to that point where I just could not afford the time that it took me to continue to article marketing. And I hired somebody very reasonably to do my articles for me. And the benefits have been amazing watching the traffic. And why? Because now I can post articles and post my blog articles and my posts and stuff on a consistent basis again, which is the key to generating articles. Or traffic is to getting something out there on a consistent basis and not sporadic. Common article mistakes is your articles don't have great titles. Your titles are probably one of the most important things. It's like your headline of your sales page. That right away tells somebody, do I want to read? Am I interested in what's going on? Your articles don't flow well. When they start going through your articles, it's hard for them to read. Maybe you didn't use white space enough to break up your paragraphs and stuff. You know, you want to keep it in smaller paragraphs. So if somebody gets lost, they don't have to go back to the very top and start over just to find their way. So make sure that they flow well, the content flows well, where it makes sense as they're reading through. Your articles are too informative. What we need to happen with your article marketing is you need to give good content. You need to make sure that you are providing value, but you don't want it so informative that there's no reason for them to go searching for more. You want to leave them basically with that just salivating for, okay, I needed more. I need more. This is good, but I need more. Where can I get it? And you're going to give them that in your bio box at the bottom, where you're going to lead them to the website for more. Your articles don't have good author bios, like we were just talking about. You don't do a good enough job of giving them a good call to action. Using keywords in your article writing. Why use keywords? The point is to be found. Internet users across the globe are searching for information. That's what they're out there searching for. You need to meet them at the search bar. You need to meet them. And to do this, you need to know what they're searching for. If you don't incorporate these words into your web content, the other guy will. I guarantee you that. And then your readers is lost in somebody else's copy, and maybe it's not as good as what you had. So who are you really doing injustice to? You know, you're letting somebody else steal your traffic away from you, and they don't have anything close to what you have to offer. How are they searching? The way you do, the same way you do, basically, is when you search for something online, that's exactly how other people are coming and searching. They type specific words into a search engine. If you know what you're looking for online, you pretty much just go to the search bar, and you type in exactly what you're looking for and find what you do. That's called targeted marketing. And that's how they're searching. A lot of the times they don't really know for sure. They're not quite specific on what they need, and they might find you that way, so you got to be using those kind of keywords also. But when they know exactly what they're looking for, that's who you want, and they're going to search the same way. Help them find you with keywords. If you've never written a keyword article before, have no fear. The process isn't much different from writing regular articles. It's not really much different than writing a blog post. It's going to be anywhere from 300 to 500 words. It's not that hard. It's just basically getting the titles of interest and a good interested topic that they're interested in, something that's going to start solving their problems and leading them to your call to action, something that's going to be interested. Don't let lack of experience stop you from profiting through keyword-rich content. And if you just can't get it, trust me, this is probably one of the most affordable things to outsource that there are. There is always somebody looking to pick up a few extra bucks that are very good at writing articles that will do it at a very minimal cost. And the cost that you pay is well worth the return on your investment. All right, keyword density. The use of keywords is important, but don't abuse them. Aim for a 2 to 5%, and 5% maybe even getting a little high, maybe 2 to 3%. So every 100 words, you're going to use that keyword 2 to 3 times. So that basically, the percent of your chosen keywords in your article to rank high in the search engines. Use keywords frequently, and search engines may ban your site altogether because of keyword stuffing. The search engines are smart. They know they know that you're using the keywords to basically get traffic. And if you just start stuffing it where you've got a high density going on, where it's just like, every other paragraph is just filled with what your stuff, they're basically just they can ban your site. They're not looking for that. The content that you got is not useful to them. because they see it as you're just trying to get traffic. You're not trying to provide real values to their readers. And that's what they're interested in, is providing value to their readers. Important, insert your keyword in the title. This is important. The keyword you're going after, you want to have it in your title first of all. Use the primary keyword in the first or second sentence in the first paragraph. So you're going to want to add in the title, and then as you're going into that first paragraph, have that keyword again within that first paragraph. Use the keyword in the anchor text, and we'll show you what that is here in just a little bit. And this is the text to link others, to other pages. Instead of using the HTTP // link that you would have on there and stuff, you're going to want to create an anchor text where you're using that keyword. Use keyword variations or synonyms to make the articles flow better. Repeating the same keyword makes your article awkward to read. So if you're always got a thing on dog breeding, and you're always talking about dog breeding, use different synonyms and stuff that you can use with those to make it, not quite so awkward for somebody to read, where they're like, wow, why do they keep throwing that word in there? And the basic reason is to get that keyword in there. Well, that's not your goal, because it's not providing the value you need to. Write your articles and submit them. Here is a list of some of the top article directories. eZine articles is probably one of the most well-known. One thing that if you're going to submit articles, I recommend submitting it to eZine articles first. If you've got content out there and you don't put your name on it, and eZine articles, you submit something to them and they find that content, because they're going to search, and they're really getting picky about this. They're going to search, and if they find that that's duplicate content and they can't, you're not showing that that's your content already, they're going to basically make you go through the process of proving that that's your content before they accept that article. eZine articles is very particular about what they take. So if you're going to be putting it on other sites without using your name and claiming that article, make sure you put it on eZine first. GoArticles.com, ArticleDashboard.com, ArticleBase.com, ArticleAlley.com, iSnare.com, Helium.com. Basically, do a search on Google for the term article directories, and you're going to find many, many more. So those are some of the article directories that you can be looking for to submit your articles. Tips to get your articles read. First of all, use short paragraphs to make it easy for them to read. If you've ever been reading a book that really is just, if you take a book that's just one big solid paragraph and you get lost, your eyes, starts playing tricks on you, and it's hard to find where you just got lost. And a lot of times you'll find yourself starting, closer to the top or at the bottom, and it's like, well, that's not where I was. And if this happens too much, you're just going to give up and move on. So use short paragraphs so it's easy for them to read. Use plenty of white space, and that's basically just the white space. So when you hit your space bar, your return or whatever, and put a couple spaces in between each paragraph, that's considered the white space. Make use of number and bullet points. This really attracts people as a benefit. They look at these as something of interest that draws their attention. Use subheadings to subdivide your paragraphs into the page. So if you've got a lot of paragraphs and maybe you're kind of heading into a little bit of a different topic, put a subheading there to show, something that's going to catch their attention. Maybe bold it a little bit. Something going to be more on the lines of your titles, where it's going to excite them and capture their attention to make them want to read more. Provide a good attention-grabbing title or header. This is very important. If just like your headline, if you don't grab their attention at the first and make them want to read more, you're going to lose them. Keep them interested from start to finish. Make sure that your topic is interesting and that you're providing good, interesting content. Utilize figures when possible. Just like our numbers and bullets, figures, when you can use them, draws people's attention to it. And when you're using figures, try not to just use like an even number. Like if you wanted to say, I had got 1,000, hits on my link or whatever. Instead of saying that, instead of saying, if you'd like to figure out how you can get, instead of saying 1,000, say maybe 1,123, because that makes it more believable instead of just the even numbers. And that's why a lot of times you'll see the websites, they will give you exact numbers if they possibly can to their earnings, instead of just rounding it up. It's because it's more believable to the reader. Write a resource box that makes people click. The resource box is probably the second most important thing. This is where your call to action is. This is where you're going to take them to your website. All right, here's an article resource box example. Let's say maybe if your name was John Smith, you're an internet marketing consultant. So John Smith, an internet marketing consultant and small business coach, discover how you can make money online as quickly as today by visiting and then your simple sales generation methods.com, where you can download the free step-by-step video training series now. Now I want you to notice the make money online. When I mouse over that, says simplecashgenerationmethods.com. This is what we're calling an anchor text. This is your keywords in here, where instead of, putting in this big long URL where people know that they're heading, they know they're going to a website here, but this just puts it in their mind, I'm going to a website. Probably somebody's going to want my name and email. They're probably going to want to make me buy something or whatever. But up here, make money online. Well, I'm interested in making money online, so they're going to that's going to be more apt to click on that. That's what we're talking about as anchor text. And here's an example of that same resource box in an HTML version. So, and this is the code that you would use to create that anchor text. As you can see, here's the make money online. Here's the code in between where it says URL. You would place your URL where you want them to go in between this code. We're not going to get into all of that, into the technical things tonight. I just wanted to show you the code that you would be using in your HTML to actually create your article resource box with your anchor text. Maximize your traffic opportunities. Create as many articles as possible. Basically, the more articles you can create and distribute to more traffic, the more traffic you can start to see. Like I said, once you start getting up to around 100, you're going to start seeing some pretty good traffic. And the more that you continue after that, the better your traffic. The more consistent you are, the more traffic you're going to get. And the thing of it is these articles will start being viral. People will start taking them and placing them on their sites. You want them to do this. You want them to use it to make sure that they take all the content and, plus they directed them back to your site. So you want them to go viral. You want people to use them on their site. The more you put out there, the better you're going to see your traffic. Ensure you have key-rich titles that have been researched, so you know there's an interest in the topics. Research your keywords. Go to the Google keyword tool and do some research to find out what people are searching for, so that you know you're going to get people that are interested in your topics. Have a good resource box that sends them directly to your website or your landing page. Article marketing weekly plan of action. Here's just kind of a quick plan of action that you can do to start your article marketing that'll get you some pretty good results. First, research your keywords and subjects for your articles. Make a list of 10 to 25 articles. I started out with 25, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So 10 to 25 articles where you go and research the keywords. Out of those keywords, you're going to develop titles for these articles. So you're going to get the subject. So if it's, dog breeding, maybe it's different types of breeds of dogs that you start going on, whatever you can find when you start doing that research for your keywords. Start picking your keywords, make a good list of keywords for you to use, and then start making a list of the titles. Start writing articles. If you just can't do it yourself, use PLR. Now the thing with PLR articles, I'm going to tell you, I'd like to see you at least change them at least 50%. Other people will say 30%. Change that article, because what's going to happen, especially if you start submitting them to places like eZine articles, they're going to get picked up as duplicate content if you can't prove that they're your articles that you have. So even though you're using PLR, use the PLR to get ideas and then rewrite them. But start writing articles, outsource them if you can't do it or you don't want to use PLR, and make sure whoever you're outsourcing, if you go to like odesk.com to find somebody, or to a forum, a lot of times you can go to like the Warrior Forum, find people that are freelancing and writing articles. Make sure you see an example of their work so that you can see. And when you have them write an article for you, make sure that you have them write an article on the topic with the keywords that you're using, so that you know that they can write on that subject. Because a lot of times there'll be a good article writing, but the subject that they're writing for you on, they have no idea, and the articles aren't as good. So make sure you get an example of their writing. Submit the articles to the article directories. We gave you some directories that you can use. Ping your articles with pingomatic.com. It's really simple. You just go to pingomatic.com and you're going to put the name of your site, and when you submit your articles, you're going to get basically a URL to that article, and that's what you're going to place in there. And then you're going to basically click submit to have your articles pinged. Bookmark your articles using socialmarketing.com or use onlywire.com to make sure that you're bookmarking your articles and stuff. Again, it's really easy. Go to the site. It's really self-explanatory how to do the social marketing and the pinging. And then repeat the steps above each week. If you can't do it each week, every other week, unless you can outsource it, you can afford the outsourcing, have them do it each week, just continually submitting these articles. Press releases, like I like to call them, online publicity benefits. Publicity is an inexpensive way to promote your website and build credibility. Press releases can really increase your sales, give your website more exposure, help your website get traffic for years down the road, and enhance the image of your business. I like to write press releases that are not going to be just for a moment in time or whatever. This would be like a lot of times you'll have like a product launch and you're not going to have that product evergreen afterwards, where you're using a press release, which is really good to publicize that launch. But then if you take the product down, your press release is kind of sitting out there with links in it to basically nowhere. So I like to have them write them where it's going to, especially if it's for an evergreen product, but they're going to give you a lot of exposure. These are an excellent way. Press releases, I find, will get picked up in the search engines very, very quickly. I love to use press releases to get traffic. The internet is where people are going for their information, so leverage it in whatever way you can. Make sure you leverage it, and a press release is a good way to leverage that. Press releases can help you build backlinks to your business, which helps with SEO. They get your website exposure on high traffic websites that already have a captive audience. People are going there looking for news. You want to give them something newsworthy to read about. They're already there. They've got high traffic coming to their websites. Those are the kind of places you want to connect into. Press release sites are read by bloggers and other people looking for story ideas. So a lot of times people will come looking at the press releases places for story ideas that they can write about. So chances are they can possibly pick up what you're talking about, the news in your press release, and they can take and write that and maybe send more people to your traffic to your sites that way. Press releases themselves can rank in the search engines for good niche keywords. I mean, very, very quickly. I recommend that you do them. Free ones are great. The thing about free press release submissions is that the press release agency, they're using them for advertising. So they're going to make money off of you through their advertising. So they're going to be putting, ads on your press releases or doing some kind of advertising, where if you pay for it, you're going to have more control over it. You're going to have a better submission, but free ones work great. Make sure that you use them. A press release is an announcement of an event, a performance, or other newsworthy item that is issued publicly. A press release is news about your business. So basically, whatever is going on in your business, it could be as simple as I wrote a blog post. If you can write a good press release on your blog post, do it. A launch that you've got coming up, maybe a new website that you're putting out, a new product, that's coming out or something. Make sure that you use a press release to inform the public about something that's newsworthy. It is written in third person, so it's not going to be like, hey, I'm doing this. It's going to be like if your name was John Smith, instead of saying, hey, I've got this launch come up, it's going to be John Smith has a launch coming out on, dates going into. So it's going to be written in a third person and seeks to demonstrate the newsworthiness of a person, event, service, or product. So maybe you're just getting started in internet marketing and you're trying to build your credibility and you're writing about a press release about yourself. Write it in third person even, but to make sure that it's not all about I, that you're, telling about yourself in that third person. It's a short write-up of talking about your company, website, and other services. It can be about new website design, so maybe you completely did a remake of your website and you want to let people know about it. A new product review, so you're doing a review on a product. A new blog post, an opinion that you have. It can be on that. You can write them on pretty much anything, but it's got to be newsworthy. That's, in writing in that third person. A press release just needs to have an angle. Remember the who, what, when, where, why, and how of journalism. And there are great tutorials out there. Google how to write a press release. You will find formats that you can get for free that you can just go follow, where they'll show you a format of a press release so that you can follow the same format. They're not hard to write. They're very, very easily and get very good targeted traffic. Develop your angle first. The angle is the topic of your story. It's nothing more than the topic of your story. That's your angle. Create a newsworthy title for your press release that includes your keywords. Again, it's about the title. It's got to be something that's interesting and creates interest. Write an introductory paragraph that lays out your press release points. Write 2 to 4 paragraphs for the body of the press release. Put quotes in there. If you have quotes that can be used, those are excellent to put in your press release. But basically just write a couple more paragraphs after your introductory paragraph. It's nothing that is going to be this huge, long, drawn-out thing. Include your closing paragraph, and then you're going to be submitting your press release. PRweb.com is a paid service. It is probably one of the best. It can be expensive to really get it out there. I think the first one is free, if I remember right. The first one is free, and after that, it's like $20, maybe $80 even for the next one. But this one is really going to get out there. It's got a lot of options. But if that's something that's out of your budget, don't worry about it. The free press releases are going to get you some good traffic. Just basically freepressrelease.com. And notice the dashes in between. PR log, page release, iNewsWire, 1888 press release spider. I mean, basically, you run a Google search for the following phrases to find more press release sites. Just do a search for press release distribution, submit press releases, press release submission if you're looking for free ones, do free press release websites, submit press release for free. It's really easy to find them. Use them because press releases you will find will get traffic, and I really think you're going to be excited about what happens. Video marketing. This is a powerful strategy for driving a lot of targeted traffic to your websites. Not only can video marketing help increase your traffic by showing up in the search engine, which it does very easily. If you do a good job with your video marketing, you're going to notice that they're going to show up into the search engines a lot easier than even like your articles. But also it can be fabulous viral marketing tool. Videos can give you a brand new way to build credibility and generate massive exposure for your business online. So just think about doing something like a PowerPoint presentation where you're teaching something and you take a portion of that video. If it's an hour, you're going to want less than 10 minutes if you're going to do like YouTube or something, because they only accept them up to 10 minutes. But if you think of the credibility of you doing a video where you're teaching, you're actually showing somebody how to do something instead of just telling about it. Think of the credibility that leads you. They see you if you use your pictures or yourself on there. They actually see you. It's going to generate massive exposure for you and your business. In most cases, it's free to promote your video online, as the video hosting sites like YouTube want your content because it helps them make money. When they get people to their sites, which they're getting more with their, with the amount of videos being uploaded on their site, gives them more traffic to monetize. They want your content. They want it to be good, valuable content that they can be feeding their clientele, the ones that are coming to the site. So it's basically usually free to promote, but make sure that you use these methods. One of the biggest reasons people don't start using online video in their marketing is because they feel videos are difficult to make. That is just simply not the case. You can literally make good online videos under 5 minutes, and it won't even take really a lot of special software to do it. Videos are not that hard to make. Some examples of some basic videos are a picture with an audio. So basically, all you have to do is have your picture. Maybe you do a screen capture where you got your picture and you're just recording that screen, just the picture, and you're recording your audio to go along with the picture. So they can relate at least to the picture of you and to see you. You're not on their live, but they have somebody that they can relate to, they can see, and your audio. You can do a slideshow of pictures with music, background loops, or audio beginning throughout, could go out throughout the whole video if that's what you want. Um, Basically, you could, set up like a PowerPoint presentation, like we're talking down at the back, down at the bottom there, and use a screen capture software like we're using here, like Camtasia or Cam Studio. You can basically just record your PowerPoint presentations while you're teaching. Screen capture videos, where maybe you take them offline. Maybe you want to show somebody how to set up a website, set up a WordPress blog. So you would take them to your domain into the cPanel and show them how to use Fantastico to set it up. Maybe you want to take them to the blog site, show them how to use the dashboard and to optimize their blogs. So basically, you're just recording your screen the whole time. You're not using a PowerPoint presentation. You're just recording what you're doing on your screen, and you've got a video. Keep it under 10 minutes, submit it to YouTube, direct them back to your site. A webcam or digital camera, a video of you talking. So basically, you can set up a webcam where it's just you talking, or a video camera. A lot of times people will just hold a digital video camera out in front of them while they're speaking about a topic, and then they'll submit that. Pictures, audios, background loops. I'm going to quickly go through these. Royalty-free pictures. Make sure that you always read the terms of anything that you're using. These are just some places: sxc.hu, free digital photos, pdphoto.org, iStockPhoto, which is a paid one. I recommend you go to iStock. You can get some awesome photos on almost anything. So you can get royalty-free pictures to use in your videos, royalty-free audios, Partners in Rhyme. You can go to opsound.org to get some auto-free or royalty-free audios. Royalty-free background loops, where you can get some music background loops, whatever. It's ignitemotion.com. Probably one of my favorite places to go beside iStockPhoto. iStockPhoto not only free pictures, you can actually get some small video clips and stuff that you can use as well. But one of my favorite places, it is a paid service that you have to pay for. I think it's not that expensive for the amount that I use it and that you would use it. Animated pictures, you can get video clips, music clips, animationfactory.com. You can get some great animated pictures and stuff. That is just an awesome place. You can get music and stuff that you can use for background loops to begin your audios and stuff with. So when you start setting up maybe your PowerPoint presentation, you want to have some music fade in, come in, and then fade out right into your presentation, and come in at the end and fade out. Great place to get some great music. Video articles. Take your articles, including private label write articles, and turn them into presentations using either PowerPoint or OpenOffice. This is a great thing to do with articles. Just basically do a video, maybe take the article, set it up on a PowerPoint presentation, maybe some bullet points, and then basically read the article and record it and submit it. Record the presentation using Cam Studio or Camtasia. Camtasia is a little pricey. I still recommend it because it's got all the bells and whistles that you'll ever need. Cam Studio, if you're going to use it, get the paid version. It's not that expensive, but it's going to allow you to do so much more. There's not going to be all the limitations that are going to come with the free one. Read the article and you've created a video article. Just like article marketing, the more of these you can do, the better off you will be. You can also just read your articles and just do audio and submit them to do podcasts with. Every article you produce or write, including PLR articles you have, could be turned into an online video for marketing, including the PLR articles that are out there. This is a great way to use them because you're changing them now. You're not submitting them as a text article now. You're submitting them as something that you're going through and you're reading. Maybe you've set up bullet points to go with it to make it go smoother and for you to do a little training session with it. A great way to use PLR articles. Never instruct people just to visit your site. Don't just blatantly come out and say, and now go to my site to get here. You're going to want to lead them into that with your call to action or whatever. You're going to want to have your links coming in, whatever. But don't sit there. A lot of times, don't just go to my site to get this. You want to give them that call to action. I like to give it more in a text form where it's right in the in the article comes on, where it's something. It's not just basically coming out and saying, hey, I need you to do this, and I want you to go to my article to my site now, because yes, that's what you're trying to get them to do. You want that traffic, but you don't want to just be forcing things on people. Effective video marketing strategies, research keywords and topics for your videos, just like article marketing. You need to research your keywords and your topic. When you're submitting them, you're going to use your keywords and your tags. You're going to want to have a good title for it. Create a title for your video using the keywords because you want those keywords in that title. Write a short description of your video, basically your domain. Find more effective strategies and more for doing this and that on the website. So, you're not going to put more doing this and that. Just an example of, telling them what they're going to find when they go. And this is a great way when the description of your video is to be directing them to your domain. It's just a casual thing. Here's where you're going to find more. Write out the tags that you will be using for your videos. When you're submitting them, you will find where you use your tags, where you're going to be submitting the tags. Save this into a Word document or a notepad file so you can copy and paste in the video hosting site. So when you're putting this all together, pull up a notepad and just start putting your keywords, your titles, so that when you got your video uploading, you're submitting it, you can just go through, copy and paste this information into the video submission spots. You're ready to create your video now for submission. So once you have all of this, you're ready to start basically creating your videos to submit. Video marketing plan of action. Use keyword research and identify 20 keywords that you could create a video around. Create 20 short videos using the strategies discussed in this presentation. So basically, we're talking about maybe with PowerPoint, with articles, with using just maybe yourself and a digital camera, a video camera. Create 20 short videos using the strategies discussed. Create your titles, your descriptions, keyword tags for each video, and save it in a notepad file. Start uploading the videos to the hosting sites and consider using Traffic Geyser. This is a paid hosting. It's got a monthly payment with it. Go check it out. Or any other video submitting software out there. Just do a search on Google for video submitting software to really kick this into gear. This allows for multiple submissions of the same video by changing the format. So basically, you don't have to go through. Once you have you'll go to each one of these, you'll set up your accounts and your profiles and everything, and then you can use Traffic Geyser or other video submissions to submit to all of these different video places all at once. And repeat this process, and you want to do this over and over again. If you can't do this, find somebody to do this for you. How easy would it be for you to find somebody just to go out and read your articles and create small videos and stuff for you to submit? They only need to be 5 and 10 minutes at the longest, so you can use them on YouTube. Here's some video submission sites: youtube.com, rever.com, realpeoplerealstuff.com, metacafe.com, videojug.com, which is basically going to be just how-to videos on that site. So if you got how-to videos, that's a great place to put them, as well as YouTube. Selltube.com, livevideo.com, and kiwago.com. Those are great places that you can go to submit your videos at. And again, there's many, many more. Go out and do a search for video submission sites, and you're going to find a whole lot more than just that. Automatic mass video distribution. We're just kind of talking about that. Traffic Geyser. It's the best paid video submission service that's out there. It's low cost when you consider all it does. I don't remember what the monthly. Last I knew it was like $99 a month. But when you consider what it does, when you're at the point where you can use this, when you consider what it does, it's very low cost. Automates video submissions, podcast submissions, and social bookmarking all in one package. So it's going to do all of this for you all in one package. Gives you huge flexibility and allows you to submit a ton of videos online. Also, another great place to do mass video distribution would be tubemogul.com. Free to mass submit videos. It's limited on sites to submit to, but still it's valuable. So use that as well. And that's free to mass submit your videos, but it is limited on the sites that you can submit to. Software and accessories needed for video. Windows Movie Maker. It's a free video software. iMovie for Apple is a free video software for if you have the Mac. Sony Vegas, you can get a free 30-day trial. It's not that expensive. It's very inexpensive to use Sony Vega, It comes with a 30-day trial. I recommend getting the trial and using it. Cam Studio is actually a free screen capture. You can go to camstudio.org. Again, I don't recommend the free version of this. I recommend that you get the paid version. I don't remember what it is. It's like $37, $47 or something, whatever, for the paid version. I recommend that, if you're going to not go with Camtasia screen capture, which is going to be more expensive, but I prefer Camtasia, and that's the one that I would recommend. It will do whatever you need to do. PowerPoint, or you can go to the Open Office version that you can get. Again, the same thing goes. PowerPoint with Microsoft Office is expensive, but it's got what you need. They just came out. They got 2010 version. It's an amazing thing. I mean, some of the things that you can do with it, the transition slides is awesome. I recommend it over the other free ones, but the free versions that you can get at openoffice.org will do the job. A USB microphone headset, one that you can pick up at Walmart for like 39 bucks or whatever. Another one that I would recommend would be the USB Snowball mic that you can get for like $100 to $125, and that's just a one on a stand that you're going to put in front of you. Otherwise, just a headset, a USB from Walmart will work great. It gives you great quality. The only thing you got to be careful about that one is that the connection to the speaker part and stuff once in a while gets loosened up, and you'll get a clicking sound. So you got to be watching for that. And at that point, you'll have to pretty much replace the headset. But they're very inexpensive, and it does an awesome job. Basic webcam or a digital camera or a flip video will do very well. If you want to go the cheaper versions for, you don't got to go out there and get a real expensive camera. Audacity audio software, you go to audacity.sourceforge.net. That's a great place for you to do recordings and also editing. Great place for you to go and check that out. Most of these places come with great tutorials for you to learn how to use them. They don't just say, here it is, figure it out yourself. They give you very good tutorials for you to be able to follow and learn from. If you can't find it, go to some place like YouTube and type in what you're looking for. Basically how to use Windows Movie Maker. I guarantee you'll find videos that are there on YouTube for you to learn from. Email signature files. The point of having a signature file in each of your emails is to drive traffic to your websites. The goal with your signature file is to get them to click, right? So you need to spend at least as much time on your signature files as you would writing an ad. And basically when you were writing ads, an ad is not a lot of text. It's just a couple little lines. So you really got to spend some time on writing these to make people want to click. So, what you put into your signature files in your email or wherever you have a signature file, whether it's on a forum, make sure you spend some time really writing it out. Learn how to do it properly so that you can get people to click on them. Use it for giving a special offer. Maybe you got a special offer, you got free gifts or affiliate product, or you just want to send them to another site, get them to sign up for something. You can use your email signature files. First of all, say what your offer is and include the main benefit. Really focus on the main benefit that they'll receive by coming to your website. Also include your name and your website. Don't list 3 to 5 websites in your signature files. I've seen signature files where they've got follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, follow me on this site, that site, every other site, and here's about 20 products I've got. And the list in that signature file is crazy. How many times have you ever clicked on any of those things? Maybe once in a while, but usually you're just like, phew, forget all of that. Because they're not doing a good job of telling you what you're going to get at each one of those sites. They're just giving you too many choices. Don't list 3 to 5. Just stick to just the one. If after a while you want to change it, then change it to something else. But don't overwhelm and confuse those who are reading your emails. Social networking sites. These are more social networking sites there's more than social networking sites than there are fleas on dogs. They're out there all over the place. So determine which social networking sites you're going to use. Learn how to best use those sites to generate traffic and links to your website or blog. One of the things I'm going to talk to you about social networking sites. They don't work for everybody. Some people will get great results. Other people can try and they just cannot make them work. Personally, I do not use a lot of social networking sites. One of my problems when I go to social networking sites is I get caught up in talking to people and building relationships, and that's what I'm going to use them for. It's not a lot of traffic generation, but there are people that have generating a lot of traffic and a lot of income from social networking, and it's a great thing that you need to check out. But find out if it's going to be something for you. You can meet people like yourself, exchange ideas about growing your business. It's awesome for that. Really recommend it for that. Great way to drive traffic to your sites if you're one that it works for. Sometimes I'm just going to tell you it's not for everybody. Relationships are built through these organizations, and that's probably one of the most powerful things is the relationships that you can build with people. Because a lot of times you'll get them maybe sending to your sites where maybe you don't get a lot of traffic from it, but they maybe like on Twitter or something like that, somebody else that is able to get it, they've got a good following that really takes action on what they say. Maybe they retweet your post for you or something. So really build those relationships. After deciding which sites are appropriate for you, the next thing to do is be active on those sites. If you have decided you're going to have a web presence, then have a web presence. Don't spend all day. Be productive and provide value on these kind of sites. You need to provide value. And don't spend all day on them. Facebook, Twitter, these things, a lot of times you get caught up just chatting with people and back and forth, and you waste a lot of time. So make sure you're being productive. If not, you can outsource it to somebody that maybe is good at it and can do that's all they do for you, where you don't even have to go there. Web 2.0 properties for traffic. Web 2.0 sites are basically social type websites where most of the content is user generated, where the user generates the content, where you're generating the content. You can leverage Web 2.0 websites for more backlinks, exposure, and traffic. There are many different Web 2.0 properties that you can leverage for more traffic. You simply add your content to them, link to your website if applicable. Use your core keyword phrases as the title of these properties. One of the things I want to tell you again is read the rules. Make sure that you're following the rules. Web 2.0 sites include things like squidoo.com, which is a great place, gets picked up in Google very quick, where you create a Squidoo lens. Hubpages.com, Weebly.com, Issue.com. These are some good 2.0 properties that you can check into and to use to generate traffic. Remember, it's user generated. The content is user generating. You generating the content. Make sure you read the rules. LinkedIn is another place that a lot of people don't think about for traffic, but there's a specific part of LinkedIn that I want to tell you about that I prefer to use. The LinkedIn answer feature can be a really useful tool both for people with questions and people with answers. Drive traffic to your profile, increasing interest in your personal brand, and then possibly your website or blog by answering questions and inserting your URLs. Basically, you're providing value. There's a question place in there where people go and they're asking questions where you can go and answer, just like you would do in a forum. Provide an answer. Maybe your answer is in the form of a PDF file that they're going to go sign up for at a squeeze page, or maybe they're going to go to your blog for the answer. But it's where you're going in. They've got this place where people can go in, ask questions. You can go in and provide answers. The most important thing you need to do to drive traffic to your website from LinkedIn is to actually put your company's URL in your profile. Very few people actually do this. They forget to put their URLs and stuff to their company and stuff in their profiles. When you put the link in your profile, don't just use your company name. Use a keyword phrase that someone might be searching for. Maybe if your company is all about making money online, maybe with your company name, you're going to want to put those keywords in there, making money online, or whatever keywords that you're going to be after. These links will send you traffic directly from LinkedIn. They also will help you rank higher in search engines for the keywords that you use. LinkedIn answer feature is a great thing. A lot of people don't even know that that feature is even there. They think it's just a place for you to connect with a bunch of professionals. Blogs are a great place to get traffic. WordPress hosted blogs is what I'm going to recommend you to. I'm not going to say don't use the free ones. I'm going to recommend that you have a hosted blog though. WordPress is a great one. The reason is you got more flexibility and more control. If you use the free WordPress, they're basically doing the same thing. They want you to generate traffic for them. They want you to get it because they're going to monetize it. You're the one that wants to monetize and use the traffic that's coming. So a lot of people will start out with a free blog. They're getting all this traffic, but then they can't monetize it. And when they go to monetize it, they get everything shut down and they can't get their content back. My suggestion is start out with just a hosted blog, and a WordPress one is probably one of the best ones I know. Include website URLs in your posts. So when you're creating posts, have website URLs where you want to direct them. Good content, pre-selling them on that link. Always have a free offer in your subscriber box on your blog to capture names and emails. Wherever you're driving traffic to, you need to have a place to list build to get that name and email. I don't care what your website is. Have a place to capture name and email. Post on a consistent, there's that word again, consistent basis, and give good quality, keyword-rich content. Google loves good content. They're looking for good content. When they see you giving that, if they see you just doing a bunch of selling, a bunch of content with a bunch of selling into it, that's really not providing a lot of value to their readership, they're not going to like this. They want to see you really giving good content on a consistent basis. Throw in the keywords. You have to have them because you got to get them in there for people. Throw it in your titles in the first paragraph or two. When you're ending a couple, don't sit there and stuff them full. Provide good value. That needs to be your main focus, and do it on a consistent basis. If you post sporadically, your traffic's going to be sporadic. When you start building up that content and posting on a regular basis, you're going to find that your traffic's really going to kick it into high gear. I outsourced this. I got to a point where it was months before I would ever post anything, and my traffic suffered immensely from my blog. I hired somebody very, very inexpensively to come in. They're writing blog posts. My traffic is consistent again. It's picking up all the time. The more content that I put in, the more consistent the traffic is that's coming to it. Make sure you're consistent. All right, some WordPress for SEO. Download the following basic SEO plugins for WordPress and install them. One of them would be all-in-one SEO. That's probably one of the big ones that you would do. That's all-in-one SEO. That's a plugin. You can go to the back end of your plugin, to the dashboard of your plugin. You will see where it'll say plugins. You'll click on that and you'll be able to automatically install plugins. You're basically, it'll show you a place to search for the ones. Just click in all-in-one SEO, click, and it'll bring it up, and you can automatically install the plugin. And then there's a setup process for all-in-one that you'll be able to follow when you get back in there. It's really easy to do. Google Sitemap Generator would be another one. Sociable. And another one that I like to use is Woopra, and this is because it's a analytics plugin that will tell you about the traffic, what kind of keywords they're using coming to your sites. You can use Woopra for your sites, but it's got a plugin that you can install on your WordPress. It's also a lot like Google Analytics, where it's got the HTML code that you can place in your, which I prefer to use, but they do have a plugin that you can install. Will give you the analytics that people come into your sites, the bounce rates, all sorts of great information. Go to woopra.com and check it out. It's pretty cool. Set up your permalinks in your blog, and we'll go over that in just a second here. Set up your ping list and set up your all-in-one SEO. So once you get your all-in-one SEOs, you're going to have to go in. It's going to ask for tags and your different keywords and a little bit about your site. So you're going to be a little bit of a setup process. Very, very simple though. All right, setting up your permalinks. When you go into the back end of your blog to the dashboard, you're going to find settings. This is after you logged into the back end of your blog as the administrator. You're going to find settings, and in that settings, you're going to find a place where it says permalinks. You're going to click on that permalinks. It's going to open up the following window right here. You're going to go down and you're going to click on custom structure. What you're going to want to put in here is this right here. You're going to have the /% post name %, here, and you're going to want to post that right in where it says, when you click on custom structure, right there. What this is going to do, instead of just generating a post name for you with different names and symbols and everything else, it's going to take the actual title of your post. So where you're using your keywords, and it's going to basically, that is going to become the link that it generates to the post for somebody to find it. So it's going to be easier for Google to pick that up and for people to find it. So make sure that you check the permalink. Once you get it in there, you just basically save changes, and that's all it'll do. And then instead of, say this was your title, this would become your permalink where people wanted to know about setting up permalink settings or whatever. If you did a blog post and that was your title, that's what they would be searching for. That's what they're going to find instead of, trying to look for it, Google trying to look for it with all the symbols that it's going to give you otherwise. It will come with the default. You want to choose custom settings and put in the permalink. Setting up your ping list, again, go to the settings, go to the writing, and it will open up here. And what you're going to do is here's just a couple of them that I would recommend that you put in there is technorati.com and pinggoat.com. And you find these things. You can basically just take those, copy and paste them right into where it says it's going to open up. You're going to see update services, and you're going to see this box where you can copy and paste in there. Once you do, save your changes. Now your blog is going to be will start pinging these where you don't got to go do it all the time where you go to the site. You can go to pinggoat.net. That's where Pinggoat is. A lot of people pinggoat.com. You won't find it there. It's pinggoat.net. You can go to technorati.com. You can ping your blogs there. But just adding it here will do it. A lot of blogs will automatically ping to places like Ping-O-Matic, where they will automatically ping to it. So check to see if they're doing that for you already. All right, some search engine optimization. SEO really means following web standards and practices that make your website and blog accessible to everyone. SEO techniques involve ways to make sure that your site is fully accessible for search engines to gather the data they need. This lets them accurately place you in their database so people can find you when they search. Now, the truth is that if you're not interested in attracting a lot of visitors, so if you're on the call, you're going over this training, you're not interested in attracting a lot of visitors, you don't need search engine optimization. If you do, you need to learn how to do it properly. So if it's not your thing, if you don't care about traffic, then don't bother with it. If you're just in it for the fun of it or whatever, you're really not caring about a lot of traffic, don't worry so much about search engine optimization. But I will tell you that a part of search engine optimization is your content, and that's a huge part of it. Being consistently putting out good content is probably one of the best SEO things that you can possibly do, is good keyword-rich content on a consistent basis. Relevancy and search engine optimization. The relevancy of your content is important. Search engines make money with advertising, and they get people to perform searches by providing relevant results to their users. You want them to be your results. If someone types in, for example, Rhode Island Red Chicken Club into a search engine, that's what they expect to get. They expect to find something about Rhode Island Red Chicken Clubs if you're into chickens. The user don't want to come to a page that has information on Buff Orpington Chicken Clubs. Maybe if they're just interested in chicken clubs, great. But if they're typing in something specific, that's what you're after. Or even worse, a page related to golf bags or golf balls or something. Why you would doing that? Maybe a chicken barbecue on the golf course. I don't know, whatever. You got to be careful about when it comes to search engine optimization. Go after the specifics. I'm telling you what, if somebody types in Rhode Island Red Chicken Club, that person knows exactly what they're after. They're not after anything else but that. And that's what you want to have. That would be an excellent keyword phrase if you were into Rhode Island Red Chicken Clubs. Search engines have vested interest in providing the best results possible to the traffic that they're getting. They have a vested interest in it. They're going to make money off of that. So make sure that you're providing them good content. You need to make your pages and your websites as relevant as possible. So when Google sends somebody to your site, when that person goes there, they went to find exactly what they were looking for. There are several different on-page optimization factors that you can do to make your page search engine friendly and more relevant for the search engine. All right, here's just kind of, we're going to talk about a little bit about keywords here in your search engine. First, we're going to start out with just generic word or phrase. Basically, we're going to kind of go from left to right, and then we're going to go down and left to right again. So, and then we're going to go over into a keyword value. Basically, generic words or just phrase are going to be low value, high competition, poor conversion to sales. Remember, we're looking for conversions. These would be like keywords just like pets or real estate or football. If you're into those niches, then those are the keywords you're going after. They're going to be low value, high competition, poor conversions. Next are your category keywords. These are going to be a little higher value and a little easier to rank for. So instead of pets, you got pet supplies. Maybe California real estate. So we're narrowing it down a little bit. College football instead of NFL. Next would be your subcategories. Higher value and visitors are more likely convert to sales because now they're starting to type in what they're more specifically what they're looking for. Up here, if they're typing in these, they're not really sure what they're looking for. They're just got an interest in pets. They're not really ready to buy yet. Your subcategory ones would be like pet supplies online, pet supply products maybe, Sacramento real estate, so in just California, we're really narrowing it down. Maybe a certain state, Texas State football if you're into college football, instead of just all of them. Now you're starting to narrow it down. If people are searching for these, they're starting, they're getting closer to conversion. Specific topic keywords, high value, keywords are easier to rank for, and the visitor is more targeted. These ones are searching for something specific. They're looking for something ready to take action on. Maybe more like an automatic pet feeders. You can even go into more details about certain automatic dog food feeders or waterers or something, or specific brands of pet feeders. Sacramento apartment complexes. So instead of just real estate, it's a certain kind of real estate. Texas State football collectibles, or maybe t-shirts or statistics or whatever you're going after. The more specific that you can be, the better you're going to rank, and the more that person's going to be ready to convert into a sale and take action on what you're getting them to do at your website. Remember plural and synonyms. Auto parts, so instead of just using auto parts as keywords throughout it, maybe you do car parts or automobile parts. You can do merged and hyphenated words. Misspellings. A lot of times people, one of my biggest things is spelling the word affiliate. My one hand types faster than the other. And so I use the word affiliate, I have it with an AI instead of IA. And I find that a lot of people actually do the same exact thing. I know I'm not the only one. And you'll get those people that mistype things. Add keyword modifiers. Like something like instead of iPod Touch, maybe like buy iPod Touch. So your modifier would be buy. Cheap pet supplies. Best price Nintendo Wii's. Make sure though that you're always doing plurals, because a lot of times the plurals will completely change the names. One of the best examples I can give you is chicken or chickens. If somebody types in the word chicken, they're really not, they could be looking for breeds of chickens. They could be looking for the animal chicken. If they type in chicken, maybe they're looking for chicken recipes. Maybe they're looking, for, who knows what they're looking for. So make sure that you're using the plurals and stuff as well, because it will really tell you, what that person's really looking for, and it'll completely change what that person's looking for. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. What problem does my product or service solve for my typical customer? Know the problems and know what they serve for. You're going to be able to pick out much better keywords. See what people are already searching for to find your website. Google Analytics, you can use Webalizer, you can use AW Stats, which is in your cPanel. You can use Wupro, like we were talking about a little earlier, on your blogs and other sites. But see what people are searching for. So a lot of these places will tell you the words that they use to find your sites. And, those are the words, if you're getting a lot of traffic coming from those are the ones you want to really start capitalizing on in your articles and in your post. Consider related keywords. Instead of just pet supplies, maybe it's dog supplies or cat supplies or bird supplies. So instead of, consider related keywords. Title tags are the single most important on-page ranking factor out there. They're very important. A lot of people do not use them, and they're that important. Basically, this is your title page. This is the HTML. When you're going to your website and basically creating in your HTML editor, you're going to find the title where it has these tags here. These are tags. You're going to put your keyword-rich title in there. That's what people are going to be looking for. And you'll notice the keywords on the title tags and stuff. If you ever search for something online, in the very, very top left-hand corner above your toolbars and stuff, you'll usually see some information up there, and it's usually the keywords and stuff that'll be your title tags. should have the exact phrase you're trying to rank for. The exact main keyword phrase should be at the very beginning. Search engines read from left to right. Always remember that when you're writing content, is that they read left to right. You should repeat the keyword phrase or a plural or singular version of it, also in that title tag. Keep in mind that singular and plural keyword phrases come up differently in search engines. For example, like I gave you already, chickens and chicken, laptop and laptops, because you can go for a certain kind of laptop or different kinds of laptop, produce totally different results. So you want to use both in your title tags if you were, of the niches you're looking in. Sample of some pretty decent title tags would be like dog collars. You're looking for dog collars. Find the best dog collar for your dog. So you notice you got the plural and the singular. You got dog collars, dog collar. Weight loss, your source for weight loss tips. Those would be good examples of title tags. And you notice you've got the hyphen in between the two different ones that you got. Search engine friendly content structure. Your articles on your site should contain your main keywords near the beginning of them. Articles should be broken apart with header tags in between. So especially if you're like changing a little bit of a direction, you might want to have a different tag. But what this does is when you're reading through a sales page or article and you see those subheaders, they draw your attention to make you want to continue to read. You should try to include your main keywords once or twice in the first paragraph and place it anywhere that makes sense in the next paragraphs. So after the first, wherever it makes sense, don't sit there and stuff it all over the place, wherever it makes sense. Try to include your main keyword in the last paragraph of the article. Perfect keyword density is just a myth. I recommend 2 to 5. It's a myth. Don't sit there and stuff though, because you'll get shut down. Be very careful about it. You want that article and stuff to be something of value and something of interest, not just stuffed full of keywords. Don't get caught up in keyword density with all your articles. So don't sit there and worry about it. If it makes sense, put it in there. Write for humans and not for search engines, and the search engines will appreciate your content. So don't sit there, you're basically writing keywords is for search engines. You want to pretend, think about somebody reading that and the value they're getting. And if you write for something that's going to interest the human instead of the search engines are going to love it. Write unique and relevant articles. All right, in summary, you need traffic that converts into sales. It's not all about getting traffic. You need to make sure that you convert that traffic into sales. Without having the conversions to go along with the traffic that is coming to your site, we end up with what is called traffic death. And at the beginning of this, we told you all the things that traffic death can lead to, and they're not good. Basically, especially when it comes to JV partners, for you to lose JV partners that you took to get, you took a long time to get, you got them on board, and you're not getting conversions when people are coming to your sites to sell your products, you're going to lose them. They're not going to come back. And if you do this over and over, they're going to start talking and say, man, don't promote this guy's products. Don't send people to his website, because people don't promote, or they just don't convert. He doesn't do a good job, and word of mouth will start spreading, and pretty soon you do not have traffic. There are many methods for getting traffic. Start by concentrating on just a few and build up those methods so they really work for you. All sorts of different things that you can use out there. What you need to do is figure out what works for you, which ones you enjoy doing, stick to it, really build up a good base. Consistency is the key to any traffic method that you choose. It's not about getting something started, setting and forgetting. You need to continually to do it, especially even when you're talking about conversions. Always work to get better conversions. Don't settle for anything. If you're getting a lot of traffic, more is better, especially if it's highly targeted traffic. The more the merrier, especially if it's converting and stuff for you. Why would you want to settle for just a little? It's like list building. A good quality small list is sometimes better than a large list that it's not a good quality, but the best way to go about it is getting a very large quality list. The traffic is the same way. Good quality traffic is great, but a lot of good quality traffic is even better. But the main thing that I can't stress to you enough is that consistency in whatever you start doing. If you choose one of these methods to get started on, stay at it.